Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, coming at you with Diggity for Game 3 of NaDa versus ReD. And we just saw a very exciting, epic game on Coliseum for Game 2 of this series. And looking forward to a very fun match here on kind of an interesting map. We've got Game 3 on Medusa. We've got ReD spawning in blue at the kind of top left location, and NaDa is going to be the orange Terran at the sort of mid-right location on this map. It is a 3-player map, and ReD is, unfortunately for him, going to be scouting towards the wrong base first, but we've seen him 9 drone scout both games so far to try and look for mech and look for rushes, so maybe he'll do a 9 drone scout this game as well.
Yeah, I'm almost going to predict it, especially on Medusa. For whatever reason, we've seen a lot of pro league players, a lot of professional gamers go with the mech opening for whatever reason on Medusa. I can recall seeing Quashin do it. NaDa, I'm not sure. I can't recall him playing all that much on Medusa actually. So then there's that 9 drone scout heading out of the base right this second to try to squeeze in front of that front door seal and try to harass a little bit there as well, and also get off obviously the scout on either the 8 racks or kind of see if that gas is being built. Anyhow, again, really impressed with ReD that next match, and I think it would be absolutely huge if ReD could somehow beat NaDa to advance in this tournament. I think that would be absolutely huge for kind of foreigner spirits and things like that.
Yeah, and I think if anyone has a chance at it, it is ReD, and you know, no offense to NaDa, he's my favorite player, and I actually told him that at Blizzcon, but you know, if anyone in the tournament is going to go down to a foreigner, it might be NaDa, just because even though he's a very top skilled player, he's been in kind of a slump lately and hasn't been playing in his top form the last couple months or so. So you know, this would be the chance. This would be the chance for a foreigner to beat a pro player in a best of right here. NaDa trying to wall off his door there. He's going to get that second depot down, so he's going to stop anything else from coming in. So this drone scout is all it's going to be. Drone scout still doing pretty well and being pretty annoying, getting a lot of hits on these SCVs, but hasn't killed any so far yet, and NaDa's going to get his front door up just fine. In the meantime, ReD going for a second hatchery as well, and it looks like he may be going for a third hatchery. Let's see if he does. Third hatchery before pool. Wow. So ReD being really greedy here, going for 3 hatcheries before a spawning pool, which is really risky. And NaDa is going to scout it here pretty quickly and see exactly what's going on. And oh, even glitches his spawning pool, or maybe it looked like he may have made a drone or something like that and not had enough minerals for it or something. I thought I saw it going down. Anyway, NaDa's going to scout that late spawning pool. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him put some pressure on here. He hasn't even produced he's produced a single Marine to chase that scout. Let's see if he produces any more. He's not producing any more Marines actually, so he's just going to play an econ game also. And I mean, that's why ReD made the third hatchery before his pool, is because he saw that NaDa was not making Marines. So again, some very high level meta gameplay from both these players, and NaDa, even though he scouted that late pool, is not going to try and make anything of it. He's just going to go for an econ game as well.
Yeah, I think when he saw that front door seal, he saw that there was basically no additional racks being planted, and he saw that there was no gas being planted as well. He might as well just go for that 3 hatchery first build and try to play as economic, play just an aggressive economic game early. So coming out to an early start, let's see if NaDa can kind of make up for it. He's got his command center being built as well. He really wants to go up and harass that as quickly as possible, try to get at least some drone kills to try to stop ReD from getting too big too early here. ReD now actually teching the lair, so it doesn't look like he's... Let's see if he actually decides to... Well, he's not going to go Hydralisk and thinking of the mech game again. Yeah, one thing I do want to mention is earlier in that SCV harass, the drones, or there's a single drone chasing after an SCV that I think had about 10 hit points left. NaDa did manage to get it back in there and repair. A nice little clever quick kind of recovery there. But NaDa scouting this early. Let's see what he does. He's got that second base up, and he's got really nice SCV saturation already with 2 barracks. Looks like he's upgrading Stimpaks, producing some Firebats as well. And he's already got that medic grouping, so it's really going to be up to ReD. What I'm a little bit concerned about with ReD is he's going really troop light here early. He hasn't produced anything, and he's also not put down that kind of... Okay, never mind. He's got the cautionary creep colony being built right now to help against this early push. Also getting an early evolution chamber to try to play an early upgrade game. So let's see what ReD can do in the mid game after this nice economy. It looks like that those Marines and the Firebat, along with that medic, already pushing out in the field.
Yeah, ReD putting that Overlord there to scout when this force moved out so he can make sure he gets enough stuff up. Producing a third colony here. It looks like he's going to have 2 Sunkens up. The third, I don't know if it'd be up quite in time for this force, but I think the force is a little bit too small to really just engage all out those 2 Sunken colonies. So NaDa is going to pull back. I think he knew that. He saw that with his SCV's dying breath that there was the 2 Sunkens up. So he knows that he didn't have quite enough to deal with this. But he does have 4 additional Firebats coming out now. 4 extra Firebats are coming out to join that force. No additional medics or Marines here. Those are... I mean, the Spire is up now, but it's not going to be up for a little while. And he's actually... What I think he's probably going to do... Yeah, he's going to actually stim the Firebats and run in and attack the temples. The Firebats are going to be able to do splash damage, so even though the temples are stacked on top of each other, the Firebats are doing damage to all the temples at once. He's going to be able to break that down. ReD does have a Zergling there to spot this out, so he's going to see exactly what's going on, and he's actually going to have to build yet more sunken colonies, basically in a secondary defense line. So he's going to have to build not just the 3 sunken colonies at his front, but also these 3 sunken colonies in back to defend against this. He's going to spend a lot of money, and that is a lot of minerals and drones. So when his Spire pops, he's not going to have enough for very many Medulists at this point.
Yeah, he's just losing all the economic advantage he might have gotten off that 3rd hatchery. He's also going to have a hard time getting, it looks like he lost an Overlord, so getting a little bit supply capped as well. He has NaDa has 2 fronts to attack at. That's additional drones that have been wasted. Those first 3 drones that were expended on the front door seem almost worthless at this stage. And NaDa's economy is absolutely swinging. He's got 2 bases up. He's got 4 barracks down. He's adding on that factory. Looks like range is already upgraded for the Marines to help deal against the Mutalisks. So what it's going to come down to is really a miracle from ReD with some extremely, extremely potent Mutalisk micro to try to hurt NaDa's economy, try to whittle the forces down, and somehow get back in this game.
Yeah, ReD now producing Mutalisks. Spire pop just moments ago. Again, look at this. He doesn't have a ton of money. He's got plenty of gas. He could produce 9 Mutalisks at once if he'd had the money, the minerals for it, rather. But he actually didn't have the minerals for it. He had plenty of gas, but he's going to be able to get that count up eventually. But critically, he's not going to be able to drone up really while he's making these Mutalisks either. So his economy suffering a little bit here from this attack. And really NaDa not losing a whole lot. What he lost is basically 4 Marines that were produced instead of Firebats. Or he might have even produced 2 of those Firebats regardless. So really only losing a couple Marines worth in exchange for getting those Firebats out early, and really forcing ReD to spend a lot of money and a lot at a critical time on those units there, and really not losing a lot for it. Weapons 1 is almost upgraded for the Terran, not quite yet though, and ReD is going to go and try and do some brass on the army, try and whittle down that force as much as he can. While he has the opportunity, it'll be much more difficult for him to do that once Weapons 1 is upgraded. Yeah, ReD really needs to do some damage with these Mutalisks here. Some economic damage, but NaDa is just, wow, look at this. He's not messing around. He is really well defended. A ton of turrets everywhere. Bunker as well around his expansion. Not as many turrets, actually. That would be a really sweet spot for ReD to attack, is this expansion here, because he's only got the single turret and a bunch of really juicy SCVs just sitting around waiting to get killed off by Mutalisks if ReD moves over there, but I don't think he knows that hole exists. So he's having to keep his forces kind of in the middle. Oh, running through some Marines, taking some fire. Didn't lose any this time, though, so he's still got his full group, I believe. But NaDa moving out with a substantial force of medic Marines directly at ReD's front. He sees it's coming, frantically trying to put down some sunken colonies. I don't know if it's going to be in time, though. Marines stimming, running in. There's only the 3 sunken colonies here. Mutalisks coming in from behind. Oh, that was an Overlord dying. Mutalisks are actually nowhere near the battle. His Mutalisks are off to the side. Sunken colonies all dead. Last second, Sunken's trying to morph in here, but ReD has nothing to deal with this. He doesn't even pull his drones off the line, which really they couldn't do a whole lot of good against this many Marines anyways. Mutalisks finally coming in. He's going to try and micro down this force, but really he needed those Mutalisks there during the attack against the medic Marines, against the sunken colonies, and instead they were chasing down an SCV in the bottom left. So he's lost a lot of drones here. He may in fact lose this hatchery. And oh, it's just going all in with the Mutalisks. 1, 2, 3. All the Mutalisks go down. And ReD GG's. Wow. So putting up a pretty good fight though, but just not able to pull it out in the end.
NaDa was absolutely brilliant. As soon as he took down that temple wall down, he immediately sent all of his fire bats to nearby expansions, knowing that essentially what ReD needed to do was build a bunch of Mutalisks and take an expansion, sneak it, and try to play map control that way. NaDa already on top of it. As soon as ReD was sending those basically undefended drones, the fire bats were right there to keep expansions from being planted. And yeah, had to bring those Mutalisks alongside, and NaDa just had an overwhelming economy, just had too many troops, able to crash down the front door. NaDa played that game perfectly. It just shows you why he is a pro gamer. I mean, that's just pro gamer play right there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful attack there. Just going in right when ReD was vulnerable, going out with a lot more forces than ReD expected. And really, I'm not sure if he actually knew where those Mutalisks were or not. Well, I guess he probably did if he saw his Firebat die. But if those Mutalisks hadn't been chasing the Firebat down in the bottom left, or SCV or whatever it was, if he'd had those Mutalisks alongside during that battle, things might have been a little bit different. He might have been able to hold his door. So nicely played, and just got a little bit unlucky with that attack there. But you got to hand it to ReD. I mean, putting up a really, really good fight against the great NaDa, and losing the best of 3, but still, you know, showing that foreigners really have a lot of capability in them.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think both Moltrap and I are going to be trying to cast as many of the BlizzCon games as possible that weren't on the live stage here and there. Thanks for listening.
Take care.